So it is New Year's Eve right now when I'm recording this, but I won't be posting it until the new year. So I am going to be doing more training videos, and I thought the first one that I would do is about follow-ups. Follow-ups is something that is one of the most important things to do in your business. Sorry, a bunch of notifications are showing up on my screen. So it's one of the most important things that you should do for your business. It's going to be the one thing that's going to keep your business going. And there are so many different ways to do follow-ups. So I'm going to kind of touch with some of the ways that I've done them in the past. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do them for the new year, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas so that you can plan now and start the new year off good. So the first thing that I'll talk about for follow-ups, which will be probably one of the best ways if you are forgetful, like myself, but it also costs a little bit of money. So Scentsy partnered with Maven a few months ago. Well, I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but it was a little while ago. And it's basically a follow-up system. So you pay for it monthly. So I have an Apple phone, so it comes out of my Apple account. So it's linked to my actual Apple account. And I want to say it's $12.99 a month, I think. But this tool is really amazing. I could do a separate video just on this app because you can track a lot of different things. It connects to your workstation, it connects to your sales, to Instagram, to a bunch of stuff. But just in terms of follow-ups, what's great about it is since it does connect to your workstation, every time that you place an order on your workstation or anyone places an order on your website, it goes into Maven and it tracks what they ordered. And then it'll tell you, so-and-so just placed an order, you should send them a thank you note. And I always add thank you notes and stuff and letters, whatever, into my orders. If I was sending them by mail, but I found that I wasn't as consistent. So after I have a party order type thing, I'll sit down and write all the thank you cards so that when I go to sort, I can just put the thank you cards in the orders. So it will remind you to write your thank you cards. It'll remind you a few days after they order, a few weeks, months. It'll say this person hasn't ordered in a while. So it will send you those notifications to make sure you keep track. And what I like about it is not only does it remind you, but when you click on it, it shows you what they ordered. So you can quickly, it can connect to your contacts and to Facebook and stuff. So you can quickly just hit send a message and you can say, I just wanted to check to see how you're liking so-and-so bar or this warm or whatever. You don't have to go and look it up to see what they ordered. So that's something that I do like because you can kind of personalize those follow-ups. And it just kind of reminds you. But of course it does cost money. So there's tons of other ways to do follow-ups that don't involve a monthly fee. So this is what I was doing before. And I did get this idea from Katie Farner, and I talk about her a lot because I watch her training videos all the time. She has tons on there, so if you want to search her on YouTube. But I got this follow-up idea from her, and it's using a binder system. And I did have, I'm sorry guys, I don't know if I have it now. I don't think that I do, but basically what you do is you make a binder and you have folders inside, and you can do this in any kind of way, folders, file folders or sleeves or anything like that. And you label them. So you can have one, and this is good if you're using our Scentsy order forms. And even if I had an order that came in online, I kind of had a printout copy of the order and I would fill it out for my own records to do my follow-up on any online orders. So if you don't want to order them, if you don't use the order forms for your customers and give them their copy and stuff like that, you can just maybe photocopy one that you have that you got in your kit or something and just continuously print just a paper copy for your records. So what you do is you have a sleeve that has needs to be ordered, so ones that you haven't placed yet or ones that you just placed and haven't shipped yet. And you kind of have slots, so like ones that need to be delivered, slots for ones that you need to follow up in 1 week, follow up in like 3 weeks, follow up in a month, follow up in 2 months, and you just kind of move the order form along in the slots as you go. So it does take a little bit more time. So if you have like a day a week or something that you want to work on your follow-ups, I highly suggest you setting aside time to do follow-ups. Because when you kind of put them off, they get away from you, and then it's like months and you haven't talked to that customer. And it might have been a new one, and you might lose that customer because you weren't keeping contact with them. So having some sort of system is very important. Whether you do it digitally, if you make yourself a spreadsheet or something. Sorry, I have like a hair on my lipstick. If you have a spreadsheet, if you use a binder, whatever you choose to use. I also have the new, not new, but the Scentsy agenda planner, whatever you want to call it. So I just started using it today and started planning things out. But at the beginning of every month, so I just turned to May here, it has like all these oh shoot, I tucked all these receipts in there that I have to file for taxes. So they have like these pages in every month, so the beginning of each month, and there is like some spots here like check-in and stuff like that, so you can kind of like follow up if you want to write them down, but there's only 5 slots, so if you don't have a whole lot to do that month, you can write them in here, or maybe you just want to like set yourself a reminder to follow up to so-and-so's party, or whatever you want to do there. So you can do it that way in an agenda. And one other digital way that is free, and I've talked about it before, is the Trello website. So it's Trello.com. It's Trello. And it is free, and it's basically like a check board. It's like you can create boards and then like checklists on each board. And I'll do a separate video on that again, kind of more in depth on how to do that, but you can create yourself checklists. You can copy the checklist multiple times. So I have them like a specific checklist for every time I have an online party. I make sure I do all of these things. When I have to follow up for a party, I make sure I do all these things. If I have individual orders, I have everything there. I haven't been using it consistently because the last few months I've just been all over the place, so that's something that I'm going to be getting myself into again, but that's another option. So there's so many different ways to do follow-ups, but I just want you guys to know how important it is. If you are setting yourself goals for more sales, absolutely need to have follow-ups, because, and another reason, and this is something I actually just thought of the other day, but how often do you contact someone to follow up and they say, oh, I actually kind of forgot about it or haven't been using it lately? If you're not contacting them, they're kind of forgetting that they have it. It's not like us consultants or we consultants are obsessed with Scentsy, right? So we have all our Scentsy's on all the time. We're always changing our wax. But other people that are like maybe buying Scentsy for the first time, they're not as crazy as we are. So if we don't remind them about their amazing Scentsy products, they might forget about them and stop using them. And I even find myself, I do this sometimes, that I forget to change my wax and it's just like there forever and I haven't turned on that warmer in a long time. And I think to myself, like, if I'm forgetting, I'm sure that my customers are forgetting too. And this goes for posting and stuff too. So making sure that you're posting and reminding people that we're here and that Scentsy is there. So always following up, even just like not even following up just to be like, do you need to order more? Do you need to order more? But just following up to check in and be like, hey, just wanted to check in to see how you're liking your new warmer or how you were liking that scent, and see, I just want to see if you tried that one yet, because I haven't got to try it yet and I was curious, like just like chatting about the products. And it's going to remind them to try it, to use it and stuff like that. So following up is so important. And then some other things that I have written here for when you are following up, because I know sometimes it's hard. The following up system, like Scentsy suggests for us to do it, like I forget what the numbers are, like the 1, 2, 2, whatever rule or however it goes, but like following up a week, following up in 2 weeks and 2 months or whatever it is. you find that you're following up so often that you don't know what to say anymore because you're saying the same thing. And sometimes, I will tell you guys now, sometimes people are just going to ignore you. And that's okay. You are doing your part. It's not going to hurt you if they don't answer. I am terrible for answering people. Like sometimes my best friends will text me and I'll read it and I completely forget to text them back for days. And that's just because I'm busy doing something and that notification disappears when I open it. So then I forget about it later when I actually have time to reply. So if people don't answer, it's not the end of the world. They're not like, oh, it's that girl, I don't want to answer her, or don't want to talk to her. So sometimes our messages can kind of get repetitive. So here are some other things that you can say in a follow-up. So first of all, before I do any follow-ups, if it's a party, so if someone hosted a party with me, before I start my follow-ups, I contact the host and make sure that everyone has got their orders. So I always deliver my orders to the host and then they disperse the orders to the customers. I have had in the past where I've gone to contact a customer and then they tell me that they haven't got their order yet, and it's like weeks later. And the host just forgot to give out all the orders after I dropped them off, and it was a big explosion. The customer was really upset with me. So now I contact my host first, make sure everyone has got their orders, then I'll contact those customers and see how they're liking their order. So in the first contact, like a week after, I check in to see if everything is working okay, to make sure that the light bulbs work, nothing's broken in the bags, the wax is all doing okay, and make sure that they like the smells, because sometimes they'll kind of get the bar and they'll smell it and they don't like it. I always offer to do an exchange with any bars that I have in stock, so if they don't like one and they haven't used it yet, I'll swap for something that I have, not to order something new, but anything that I have. And making sure like the light bulbs work, because I have had in the past customers get orders and the light bulb doesn't work right out of the box. So I make sure that that's good. And sometimes I've even contacted people and they haven't even opened it yet. It's just been sitting there. They haven't set it up yet. So a week later, I make sure I contact them and make sure they have everything going. And then other things, like of course you're going to make sure that they like everything, asking them if they have any other questions about their order, if maybe they weren't sure how to set something up. Then if you've already followed up a bunch of times after that and you're not sure what to do, if it's been quite a while, one idea that we learned at the Scentsy World Tour last year is to do a light bulb order. So people don't realize that we can order new light bulbs. So when their lights burn out, they'll go to Walmart or something trying to find bulbs. So you can contact them and be like, I'm placing a light bulb order, just wanted to see if you need to order some light bulbs. And then they realize, and you'll be surprised how many light bulb orders you'll actually get. And then, of course, squeezing in any specials that we have going on at the time. So if you're following up to see how they're liking everything, you can also just add in case you haven't heard, this is the special that we have this month, or this is a new buddy that we have, or anything that's kind of new that's not regular with Scentsy. And of course, hosting. So if it was a big order, or they keep reordering every time you follow up, you can always squeeze in mentioning about hosting their own party, or even the opportunity of joining. So those are some kind of tips on what to do when we're doing follow-ups. So as I know, following up is such a tedious task. It takes time. It takes time to get organized. It takes time to keep up at it. But if anything, like that should be one of the biggest things in the new year that you really need to focus on. If you want to be more successful, have more sales, host more parties, etc. Following up is the base to everything. So if you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned, if you have questions about Maven, about Trello, more details on the binder system, anything like that, you just let me know and I will help you out with that. And this is hopefully the start to more training videos for the new year. That's one of my resolutions for my Scentsy, is to get more training to you guys, and hopefully I can have a new video at least every week and post it on the YouTube channel instead of just live videos on our group, because I find it is very hard to find them. As convenient as it is for me to just do a live video, I do realize that it's better for you guys if I post them with titles, etc. So hope you guys have a great new year, and We'll see you next video.